and at least one other business tenant from the list below. So it will be very interesting to hear your ideas. Let's clap our hands as the Mzingwane boys are working.
Greetings to you all, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nutritional, and with me here are Goodwill Moyo, Tsepo Manganda, Mqini Lunga, and the one controlling the PowerPoint presentation is Mandla Kosinjo. We are representing Mzingwane High School with our case, which is labeled Pure Red Industries. It has been noted that many young people are not fully participative when it comes to the issue of economic development. This is evidenced by many economic reform programs being spearheaded by adults, for example, the Provincials Intwasa project, which is being led by the Vice President, Dr. Chiwenga. This problem, coupled with the high unemployment rate, which has been greatly accelerated by the 6 months of lockdown, has led to the idea of a youth-coordinated economic reform, with the aim of achieving the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Our primary focus lies on SDG number 9, which is industry, infrastructure, and innovation. This is to be achieved by the setting up of a tomato processing plant, which is going to be backed up by primary tomato production. Under industrial development, which is our major subdivision, we aim to focus on the primary industry, which is tomato production, and the secondary agro-processing industry, which is tomato processing. Moving on to our products. The primary products will be tomatoes, which will be sold at different retail outlets, and others which will be processed into our secondary products, which are 1 tomato paste, 2 tomato sauce. Mainly our target market will be 1 households, and this will be achieved by supplying our product to large supermarkets. We will also target hotels, lodges, and fast food outlets. Now, a brief insight of our secondary product. Tomato sauce. Locally, we have one major producer of tomato sauce, which is Repo, which suffers intense competition from the high-quality South African all gold tomato sauce. A random survey carried out in the Eskodin community revealed to us that the South African all gold tomato sauce was the most preferred brand. This leads to high importation of the product. Locally, Rebroy has no capable competition. Therefore, by the introduction of our product, which is to be labeled the Pure Red tomato sauce, we intend to produce a high-quality sauce with high nutritional value. The introduction of the product is likely to trigger competition, which will result in the production of high-quality sauces locally. Once local producers have enhanced their quality, this will increase the demand for the local product. Therefore, we limit the amount imported from other countries. Therefore, we achieve import substitution. Moving on to the tomato paste. It is also a product whose demand is rapidly increasing. These are ready-made tomatoes which are turned into a paste and packaged, thus reducing the labor of cutting tomatoes. Locally, the paste is underproduced, and this leads to reliance on other countries, for example, South Africa and Botswana, and this in turn destabilizes the local currency. We therefore aim to introduce our own locally made pure red tomato paste, which will be additive-free, thick and purely natural. We aim to have the product meet the standards of the international market, which will enable us to export to other countries, for example, Namibia. This is because there is a great demand for the paste in tinned fish production. As we all know, ladies and gentlemen, that Namibia is one of Africa's leading tinned fish producers. Therefore, this increases the demand for the local currency. Now, why we have decided to venture into tomato processing and tomato production, a look into United Arab Emirates has showed us that the booming of their economies can be attributed to the sustainable utilization of their resources, and in this case, the abundant oil supply. Therefore, as the pioneers of pure red industries, we aim to tap into Zimbabwe's rich agricultural potential. As we know, Zimbabwe has the capacity to feed the whole of Africa. We therefore aim to exploit this potential in an attempt to rejuvenate our economy. Tomatoes, tomato paste, and tomato sauces are major necessities which enhance the flavor of our African food, which is why we have opted for this venture. Moving on to our project objectives. We hope this initiative is going to offer young industrialists a platform to enhance their skills through value addition. We hope to equip young people with hands-on practical experience when it comes to agriculture and industry. We hope to inspire fellow youth to develop interest on the central point on which our economy hinges, which is agriculture. This may lead to other youth-initiated projects, thereby benefiting the economy. This will also lead to infrastructural development in the Esgodini community, which is our proposed location of setting up the industry. It will also lead to employment creation as we employ people to come and work in the industry. It will also lead to the achievement of other sustainable development goals. For example, ending hunger and eradication of poverty, because once people have a stable income, then they're able to provide food. Therefore, we eradicate hunger. It is also going to improve the health of locals by getting vitamins from our product, which are vitamins A and C. We also hope to be the leading brand when it comes to agro-processing. This project is also going to provide a market to local tomato producers. We also hope that this project will lead to skills development, especially to young people who are lying sedentary after getting their degrees. Now, moving on to our future prospects. We hope in future to diversify into other fields, even to juice manufacturing. We hope to expand to an extent of being a multinational company. We hope to be the leading brand when it comes to agro-processing and to also gain customer loyalty. In future, we hope to see the youth contribute positively to economic growth and to have a private sector-driven economy. We aim to localize our production by the sourcing of our raw materials locally. This will increase the demand for the local dollar. As many people are striving to get the American dollar, we believe that having the local dollar will greatly support the transformation of the economy. We plan to have outgrower systems where we fund local farmers to grow tomatoes and supply us in addition to what we will already be producing for ourselves, which is the empowerment of local farmers. The acquisition of raw materials locally will make sure there is no strain on the already limited foreign currency in trying to import the raw materials from abroad. Now, conclusively, we believe that pure red industries will bring about a significant transformation to the economy. It will be a tool by which we are able to achieve sustainable goal number 9, which is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. It will be a tool by which we are able to empower young people to a level where they are able to spearhead their own project, their own ideas, so that we have young people taking part in economic development. Therefore, we stand here to ascertain any potential investors that the investment into pure red industries will by no means be a waste of resources. As you were seeing the slides, that shows some of the progress that we've been doing during the lockdown period, and we hope to continue until we are able to achieve our objectives. With this, thank you.
Just for really walking away from the investors, they want to understand further the question.
You? I don't understand why only one person presented when there are 5 of us on the stage. Maybe that part didn't come out clearly for you guys that it's supposed to be a teamwork. I know it's a teamwork, you came up with it together, but we were not there when you were doing it. We needed to see also how you work together as a team. So the presentation was actually supposed to be a teamwork as well. We are from one presenter, it flows to the next presenter, and that way we are sure that all of you are in it.
Well, we're actually majoring on the strengths of each other, the ability to speak in public. So it was actually by votes who was going to lead the presentation. Yes.
Someone should have led and then allow others to follow as well. The concept of good leadership is that you also allow others to follow. So just for next time, please, it's supposed to be a teamwork. You work on it together. Also show us how you work together.
I thought it was an excellent presentation. Like my fellow judge here, I was waiting for the next speaker to come on board, Matebeleland. But nevertheless, it was a really well articulated presentation. My concern was that I didn't see the link between your presentation and your slideshow. The slides came out very randomly, and towards the end we seemed to miss out quite a bit. Especially, and I know that I'm probably speaking on behalf of my accountant fellow judge, Mr. Shotham. We didn't seem to get any idea of your finances.
Okay, from the cash flow forecast, what the estimated budget or the estimated amount that we need for us to be able to set up the period in the queue is approximately 65 to 75,000. That will get us started as an initial investment. Then the part where we are seeing in the garden, that is how far we've gone so far in trying to achieve our goal in tomato production. And we are hoping that if things go well, then we can be able to expand to the extent of processing the tomatoes.
I would like to hear other voices, please. Don't leave him to answer the questions. Okay, I have one more question for you. You mentioned outgrowers scheme. I was wondering why you would want to take up such a risky venture of outgrower scheme, things like outgrower schemes, contract farming. They come with an associated risk. Now a lot of things are beyond your control because now you have farmers working for you. And you provide, in some cases you have to provide the inputs and all that, and they do all their side marketing and might not supply the outputs to you. So I was wondering why you included outgrower scheme. A very good presentation, I liked the presentation, but I just consider that very risky where you can still empower the farmers by just buying their outputs when they've produced, right? They know now we have these local buyers that we can take our products to and they'll buy. Instead of running through the scheme with them where you run the risk of providing them with inputs and all that and they're not supplying you the product. So did you consider the risky aspect of doing an outgrower scheme as a source of your supply for raw materials? Remember that you are being timed.
Okay, we actually buy from these farmers. So since we've provided them with inputs, so we are buying at a lower price than the market price. So because they've already acquired right inputs from us. So our price from us, they will receive a lesser price from.
Okay, that didn't quite answer my question, but I'll go with that. I'm still saying you can still supply people input. You give me an input, I farm. I decide, these young boys, why should I supply them? I can't supply someone else. You are making losses both ways. You've spent money on the inputs, and now I'm not supplying you. So why not just leave out that part of it and just buy the product from them when they've produced? I don't know if you're getting me. That's okay. Thank you.
I noticed from the value addition, you spoke about the value addition aspect. Did you consider the technology that you're going to be using to process your raw materials? You spoke about tomato sauce and what else did you speak about?
Also, just to remind our judges that they managed to complete their presentation before the 15 minutes, so they're just getting into their 5 minutes of question and answer. So you can ask as well.
Okay, about the machines, we actually found out the machines are actually produced in China, and we account finance, we aim to import them here to Zimbabwe, and we plan to utilize them there.
And when do you expect to return on your investment? I'm saying, did you work out the cost-benefit analysis, and when do you expect returns on your investment, on your initial investment in terms of value addition?
So after we did a cash flow forecast on how the industry is likely to run, and we found out, or the deductions were that we would be able to make the reasonable profit, reasonable outcome likely after year one. Mainly because year one, the year of the investment, there may be high value of returns from the output, say from the overall amount that we'll be making. Most of it is likely to be going maybe to returns. So around year two, that is when we expect that the project should start blooming and bringing back the invested amount.
Okay, just a quick one on my side. I think it was a great presentation, and it's certainly a great concept. You know, your ideas are fantastic in terms of tomato production and even your value add. The vision is great for your value addition product, but as you say, they are secondary. So initially, I think the focus has got to be on the tomato production, so that you get that as your core product and that becomes your core business before you can start looking at alternate investment. That would be the only thing I would say. but well done, guys. I think you know, with a little bit of touching up, I think you can finalize on some of those points, and I think there's a good project here that you have. I like the agro-based concept, utilizing the resources that we have as a country, as a region, and with the potential to export. Yes, as my colleagues have noted, I come from a financial background. I didn't see enough on the financials. I know maybe a little bit challenging at this point, given the time that you also had. And you know, as my colleague has said, some of your slides didn't follow what was being said, so a little bit out of sync on that one. But well done on that presentation overall.
Do they still have time? Do they still have time? You still have time?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, just something that you might want to think about if you make it further from this stage of the competition. There are very simple processing that you can actually do with tomatoes, considering the financials that are not coming out so clear, and the need to import machinery. You can actually raise that funds from within the enterprise, the tomato enterprise. Did you consider just drying these tomatoes and packaging them? That's a very high value product. Do you know that when you dry the tomatoes and package them, they're high value products that can be exported because they're used as salad toppings, and they're really sold in high-end supermarkets. But very simple processing. All you need is just the sun and the packaging and the cotton, right? And these are exported, actually. And I can tell you that they actually get higher amounts and for very little input costs. When I mean input, I mean machineries and all that. So maybe also consider that as maybe a startup product first, right? And then you gradually move on to the ones that need the heavy machineries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.